the science project about types of chemical reactions. This presentation will be covering the definition of the chemical reaction, the types of chemical reactions, the characteristics of a chemical reaction, and the importance of a chemical reaction in our daily lives. First, we should understand the meaning of a chemical reaction. A chemical reaction occurs when molecules interact and change. Bonds between atoms and molecules break and are reformed in new ways, and here is one example for a chemical reaction, which is photosynthesis. It's a chemical reaction because during photosynthesis, plants take in carbon dioxide and water from the air and soil. Within the plant cell, the water is oxidized, meaning it loses electrons, while the carbon dioxide is reduced, meaning it gains electrons. This transforms the water into oxygen and the carbon dioxide into glucose. See how the molecules interacted and changed. Now we move on to the different types of chemical reactions. We have a few chemical reactions, but I picked the most commonly used in daily life tasks to talk about. But we have a decomposition reaction and combustion reaction. A combustion reaction is a reaction in which a substance reacts with oxygen gas, releasing energy in the form of light and heat, while decomposition reaction is a process in which chemical species break up into simpler parts. One example for combustion reaction is a lighted match. It's a combustion reaction because when a match is struck, friction heats the head of it to a temperature at which the chemical reacts and generates more heat than can escape into the air, and they burn with a flame. And an example for a decomposition reaction is the digestion of food, because the starch decomposes into the sugar in the body and protein gets decomposed into smaller substances. Now that we're done discussing the types of chemical reactions, we can move on to the characteristics of chemical reactions. We have a few characteristics such as change in color, gas evolution, formation of insoluble solid, aka precipitate, change in energy, and change in temperature. If you see any of those signs, you'll know that the substance is changing chemically. So now that brings us to the big question. How are chemical reactions important in our daily life? Well, it's through chemical reactions that plants grow, produce fruit, and become composite for new plants. It's because of chemical reaction that human beings and all other animals reproduce, digest, grow, heal, and think. Now that we're done discussing all the points of today, that brings us to an end.